Okay, so I think we'll make a start. I've sent everyone the playlist, so feel free to press play when you're ready. Just make sure it's off shuffle. And today we're going to look at inversions, which is all about going upside down. There are lots of benefits to going upside down. One of my favorites being that all of the blood that sits in your limbs comes to your organs and gives your heart and your lungs and all your organs a chance to rest. So if you're ever feeling a little bit flat, inversions are a great way to do it. I'm with my sister today. She's in her house, and she's going to be helping me do some demos against the wall when we get to the point where we go up into the inversion. But for now, find a comfortable seat, cross-legged, or option to sit on your heels, knees together, whatever's comfortable for you. Bring your thumb and your index finger together, palms facing. Let's face them up today. That gives us a little bit of a lift. Close the eyes over, and we start to deepen our breath. Just taking a few moments to shift our attention from the outer world to the inner world. And if you've just joined us, just put your mic on mute if you can. Thank you. Inhaling some light, love, peace, and exhaling anything sticky that maybe you're holding on to from today, from the past couple of weeks. Just make sure that playlist is off shuffle. And again, if you've just joined us, we'll be doing a little bit of a demo against the wall and with my sister Lucy. So feel free when we make our way to the wall to also find yourself a wall to do some inversions on. Big inhale here, exhale, opening the mouth. And bring the hands to heart center when you're ready. Close the eyes over if they're not already. And we set an intention for today's class. Yoga is the act of stilling the waves of the mind and connecting more to our body and to our soul. Bow your head to your heart center, and we'll start with a cat-cow just to wake up the spine. So bring your wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and move how you need to today. Inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the tailbone, opening up to really roll the shoulders back, press the earth away. Exhale, suction that stomach, press the earth away. My cat is not very round today. I have a very sore back, so I'll just take it easy, but you round as much as you can. Inhale, moving back into cow. And just move how you need to with your breath. Perhaps it's moving the hips back and forth. Maybe you're moving in a circular motion. You find a moment to wake up the spine. No one watching, no one holding you to any kind of standard, just yourself. One more round of whatever it is you need, and we'll meet in tabletop, a nice flat back, navel to spine. Feel that line of energy from the base of your spine all the way pouring out to the crown of your head. Tops of feet are nice and planted in the earth. Press the earth away with the hands. We're going to keep the right hand planted. We're going to lift the right leg, extending it behind us, toes pointing down to the ground, not lifting higher than our hips, in line with our hips. And when you find steadiness in that, bringing the left arm up to one beautiful long straight line, reaching forward and back. Inhale, bending the knee and the elbow. Nice cat roll here. Exhale, straight back out. And continue that with your breath. Inhale, moving in. And exhale, back out. Extend, really reach. And let it become a fluid motion. Finding the core, which will help support our inversions today. Noticing what's coming up in the mind already and turning your attention back to your breath. Just 2 more like this. And exhale, meaning fully extended. Bring the hand to the ground. Leave that leg extended. Walk the hands a little further in front of your shoulders. Tuck that back toe, the toe that's on the ground. And we're going to lift up into a 3-legged down dog. So the right leg is still extending to the sky. Hips squared, toes pointing down. Extend the toes out to really reach up. Inhale, bring that knee into the elbow. And we're going to extend it all the way back out. And so we find a tiger curl again. Inhale, bringing it in. And you move at your own pace. So we're really creating that fire in our belly. And shifting your attention back to your mind's eye, back to your breath. And inhale, bringing that knee all the way in. We're going to plant that front foot, lower the back leg. Inhale, lift the arms. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Inhale, lift a little higher. And exhale, opening the hip by sinking a little deeper. Find a drishti, a gaze point, and press into the mat with all 4 corners of the front foot and all of that top back foot. Exhale, hands come down, left hand to the floor. We're going to lift that back leg and we're going to peel open the chest, right hand to the sky, rotated Anjaneyasana. Really lift that back thigh. Finding one beautiful straight line from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. Extending, pressing the earth away with the hand, reaching to the sky, stack those shoulder blades. Come back to your breath. Keep that thigh lifted. Exhale, bring that right hand to the ground. I'm going to step that right foot back to meet the left. And we find our first down dog. So pedal out your feet as you need to. And keep as much bend as you need in order to keep those hips nice and high. The purpose of this pose is not the heels on the ground. It's finding that triangle. And find some stillness. 5 conscious breaths here. And stay there. And in our down dog, this is actually the beginning of our inversions. Anything that gets our head lower than our hips is inversion. Getting that blood rushing back towards the heart and giving it a little break. Exhale, lowering the knees all the way down to the ground. Untuck the toes. We're going to bring them out wide and just sit back into a balasana, child's pose. Take a moment to check in with your breath and with your mind. Perhaps already the thoughts begin to swirl. Can we come back to your breath? Where do you feel it? Exhale, lifting back up into your tabletop. I'm going to keep that left hand planted now. I'm going to extend that left leg behind you. Toes pointing down. And right arm rises up. One beautiful straight line. Imagine there's someone standing on either end, pulling both your limbs in opposite direction, creating space for your spine. Strength in both limbs. Inhale, bringing both limbs together, tucking, and exhale straight back out. Find your rhythm. A common mind trick. This isn't me. I can't do this. I've never done this. What if you can? We are but the stories we tell ourselves. So look a little deeper. Really find that beautiful tight squeeze as you bring them together round the back. Just two more. Press the earth away with the hand on the ground. And as you finish your last one, keep that leg extended, hand comes down. Walk both hands a little further in front of your shoulders. Tuck the foot that's sitting, three-legged down dog. Rest here for a moment. Extend that foot to the sky. As if you're reaching that leg up to hit a button, or I'm not sure, just reaching it up. Inhale, bend that knee all the way in. We're going to tap the elbow, straight back out. Find your flow, move with your breath. And as that knee comes into the elbow, see if you can squeeze it just a little higher on the arm, pressing the earth away just a little more. And find your breath again. Two more like this. And when you've finished all two, we bring that foot all the way in. You're going to place that left foot on the inside of the left hand, lower that back leg. Arms rise up. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Palms facing together, ears in line with the arms. Inhale, see if I placed my hands under your ribs and lifted you just a little higher with each inhale, exhale, sinking deeper into that front leg. Sorry, back leg. Opening up the chest space. Find your breath. And exhale, hands come down. Right hand plants on the ground. Lift that back leg. Extend the left arm to the sky. Rotated. Anjaneyasana. Stacking those shoulder blades. Working to reach to the sky. Keep that back leg lifted. And find that beautiful straight spine. That line of energy, even from your heel to the crown of your head. Exhale, lower that hand, bring that left leg back to meet the right, down dog. Press the earth away, lift those hips, and find stillness. Good tip here is to suction that navel to the spine. Might help you lift your hips just a little higher. Look to your hands, bend your knees. We're going to step all the way up into our first forward fold. Another kind of inversion. Always preparing us for potentially what's next. So with our forward folds, working to stack our hips above our heels, what that does is brings weight into the front of the toes. Eventually our hands reach the ground and we lift our legs up, and that's the start of our inversion, but not today. Inhale, halfway lift. Open the spine, the chest space, hands come to shins if need be. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, option here to ragdoll. Grabbing opposite elbows and just rocking from side to side. Exhale, release the hands if you took that option. We'll slowly rise all the way up. Arms come out wide. Drishti, gaze to the hands. Exhale, hands to heart center, close the eyes over. Few deep breaths here. Tadasana, mountain pose. If you can stand upside down. It's just learning how to place your body in time and space. Inhale, arms rise up. Sun salutation A. Exhale, forward fold. Work here, bend those knees a lot. Work here to feel the sensation. The crown of the head is really facing the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, bend the knees, and we step back into our first high plank. Working to get the heels directly above the balls of our feet. Press the earth away, navel to spine. Hold it here. Beautiful straight spine. Line of energy from heels to crown of head. Building that fire once again to help support the spine and get us up into our inversions. Inhale, shift the weight forward, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, squeeze the elbows lower down. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Untuck the toes. Magnetize those elbows together. Open that heart space to the front of the room. Cobra pose. Roll those shoulders up and down away from the ears. Extend the feet behind you. Exhale, pressing all the way up into down dog. You conscious breaths here. Where do you feel your breath moving? Look to your hands, and I want you just to gently bend your knees and just start to shift the weight a little bit forward into your hands. Come up onto your tippy toes. And so what happens here, so as you bend your knees and you look to your hands, you can find a little more lift as we shift forward. So we're just going to keep rocking back and forth, feeling what it is to play with the weight. Eventually we will get our hips all the way above our head. But for now, just feeling that rock. Exhale, beautiful. Back to your down dog. Take a moment to find your breath. Look to your hands. We're going to step all the way forward, finding our second forward fold Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Really bend those knees. Get that belly on your thigh. Feel the crown of the head. You can gaze directly behind you. Inhale, slowly rolling all the way up. Arms come out wide. Navel to spine. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Close the eyes over. Find stillness beneath the rush. Inhale, arms rise up, taking our second sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. For a moment, we stay here. Feet are hip-width distance apart. Bend the knees, plant the hands on the ground, and we'll practice that little shift again. It'll be a very slight movement. I don't want you to topple over, but shifting the weight into your hands. Feel what it is. Engage your triceps, your upper arms to help hold that weight. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Open that chest space up, really open those shoulders. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step back with the opposite foot this time. High plank. Hold it here for a moment. Bring both feet together at the back of the mat. We're going to drop the feet to the left. Peel open the chest. Oh! Side plank. Feet are engaged as if standing on a wall. Shoulders stacked. And focus on that side core, building that fire. Exhale, back to center. Shifting the weight forward, dropping all the way down. 3, 2, 1. Untuck those toes. Inhale, cobra. Option here for up dog. Exhale. Back to your down dog. Beautiful work. And we're going to play with shifting the weight again. So bend those legs, lift to the hands. We begin to just rock back and forth as if we're almost going to go back into our high plank. But keep that navel nice and tight. Pressing the earth away. And back to your down dog. This time we will shift all the way back into our high plank. Set up the feet if need be. And we'll go into our opposite side plank. So both feet together, rolling them over to the right, left arm to the sky. Feet active, toes coming towards your nose. Find the fire in your side core. Exhale back to center, pressing back into your down dog. Take a moment to find your breath again. So I've got a strong practice for you today. There's everything we need to build up in order to get upside down. We need to build that fire. Exhale, lower the knees. Nice and wide, toes come together. Balasana. Take a moment to check in with your breath. And check in with your mind. Those thoughts will come up. We'll just pop them in a little cloud, let them float away. Not just not to come around right now. For now, this time is for you to be, to move, and to breathe. Not to think. That's what I'm here for. Inhale, lifting up. I'm going to set up for dolphin. One of my not lovely happy poses, but something that does teach us a lot. That's my sister for you. Checking on dinner. Okay, so we're going to come to our forearms. Hands and elbows are parallel to one another, shoulder width distance apart. And now check in with your elbows, right? So you usually have this bit of skin that allows your arms to rock back and forth. What I want you to do is bring your arms a little closer together than they usually are, and then extend them out. So now your arms are parallel to one another and they can't roll any further out. I hope all of those instructions make sense. Essentially, we want the arms to be able to roll in, but not roll any further out than parallel. Hands are beautifully placed nice and flat on the ground. We're going to bring your head, so you can shift the weight back into your hips. Bring your head so your ears are in line with your upper arms. And tuck the toes. I'm going to lift the hips up. Dolphin pose. Engage the core. And slowly walk the feet into the point where your head is not being sacrificed, right? It's not going further in front of your arms. Just meet yourself where you're at. And stay here for a moment. And go a little deeper. Past the shaking. Past the mind. You just be. And exhale, lower the feet to the floor, Balasana. Keep your hands set up in your dolphin. The poses that challenge us most deeply are those that have the most to teach us. And so we learn to love them. Here we go again. Keep those hands set up, tuck those toes, ears in line with the arms, lift those hips to the sky. Bring that core, navel to spine. And so what we're doing in our dolphin is working to get our hips all the way above our head, setting us up for some shoulder stability, shoulder strength, and eventually an inversion. Exhale, lower the knees to the ground. Balasana. And so amongst the voices in the head and amongst the shaking of the muscles, can we find stillness? Unraveling what lives underneath sensation. Inhale one more time, ears in line. With your upper arms, tuck those toes, lift those hips, dolphin. Engage the core and see if you can take a moment to walk a little further, a little closer without losing the ear and arm alignment. Breathe. Lift those thigh bones. And the moment that tells us no, that's the moment we stay. Exhale, lower the legs. Balasana, great work. Find your breath again. Big inhale in, exhale with the mouth open. Beautiful. Slowly lifting up, sitting back on the heels, knees come together. We'll just roll those shoulders out. You've just given them a nice, clean, soft workout. And forward. Roll those wrists out. We're going to go back into our down dog. So hands come just a little in front of our arms, toes tuck, hips to the sky, and find some stillness here. Really press that earth away with the hands. And so just as dolphin is setting us up for headstand, our down dog sets us up for handstand. Always just a little layer of what another pose is. Feet come together at the back of the mat, right leg to the sky. Bend that knee, bring your, open the hip. And knee comes all the way in, and we're going to place it on the inside of our right hand. Spin that back foot, setting up for warrior two. So it's parallel to the back of the mat. I'm going to turn around here. Parallel to the back of the mat. Find that 90-degree angle in the front leg. Arms come up, warrior two. Shoulders come up and down, really sitting away from the ears. Gaze into that front hand and find some stillness. Engage the arms, reaching either side. Inhale, lifting the upper body a little higher, and exhale, sinking just a little deeper. Engage that back thigh, keep that outer edge nice and planted. Flip that front palm, reverse your warrior. Opening up the right lung. Don't lose the integrity of the front leg. Exhale back to center. Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. Forearm to thigh, left arm overhead. Exhale, straightening that front leg, rotating that front foot so it's parallel to the front of the mat. And I'm going to get you to bring your feet all the way to the edge of your mat so you know that they're in line. The toes are slightly inverted, so facing each other. Forward fold. Wide-legged forward fold, Padottanasana. Working to get the crown of the head facing the floor, just as in our forward fold. And so here we're going to try something again. So hands, I'd like you to bring them shoulder width apart, but stacked under your shoulders. So you have a flat back and they're stacked under your shoulders. We're going to start to shift the weight forward as you bend your arms and start to bring your head towards the ground and then press back up. So little shoulder press ups, push-ups. And the weight will come into the front of the toes, and that's good. So we're starting to shift the weight and bring our hips above our head. So you just continue, just some little shoulder push-ups. Setting up and priming the shoulders and the body for what we have coming up next. Elbows, we're trying to keep them parallel. So as you come down, they might want to splay out. Imagine there's a strap between your arms. They cannot move. They are squeezing together as if in chaturanga or cobra, keeping that beautiful 90 degrees. And exhale, lifting up. Bend that front leg, rotate to your hands, frame that front leg, meeting back in our down dog. Take a moment here, and you guys keep going. I'm just going to let the puppy out to play if you'd like. Five conscious breaths. What your mind says is not who you are. It's just a thought for you to get to take or to let go. Feet together at the back of the mat, left leg to the sky. Keep those thighs squeezing together. Option to point the foot and extend it as long as your hips are square. And now we'll open hips, so bend that knee, open the hip up to the left side of the room. Inhale, bring the knee all the way in and plant that left foot. Setting up again for warrior two. Rotate that back right foot. Arms are up. Reaching out. And gazing over the front fingers. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, sinking just a little deeper. Keep that core engaged. Flip that front palm, reverse your warrior. Open up, breathing into that left lung. Exhale, shifting into Parsvakonasana, forearm to thigh. Breathing into the right rib. Keep that back leg engaged. Plant that back foot down. Exhale back to center. Setting up again for our Padottanasana. So heels on the back edge of the mat, toes slightly inverted. I'm going to fold forward, arms come, hands directly under our shoulders with a flat back. Let me show you from this side. Whoop. Whoop. One moment, slipping, and go into your, moving into our push-ups. And see if you can get your head all the way to the floor. Really focusing on getting the center, the crown of the head to tap the floor. You'll find the weight is in your toes and your head. Press it back up. Keep those elbows nice and close. And use your core to help lift you up, what we've been building this whole time. And so if you don't reach the ground, that's totally fine. In a moment, we'll move to a wall. Just 2 more. Opening up those shoulders. Beautiful. Exhale. Coming back to center. We're going to stand all the way up. Oh, slowly walk those feet in towards one another. And just give them a nice shake out. Let's just shake out our whole body. And we're going to move to a wall. So you find a wall that's going to work for you. I'm going to do it on this side so that you can see what we're doing. I'll show you. So let me just move this over here. Just move that mat for me, Liz. That's my sister. Okay, and so we're going to move the mat this way. So setting up, so the short side of your mat is flush against the wall. And I'm going to give you a little demo just to show you what we're doing. So I might move it a little bit so you can see a bit better. So we're going to try and move into a tripod. Okay, so tripod, 3 points of contact. When we were in our wide-legged forward fold, so take a moment to get back into your wide-legged forward fold. Your feet will not be on the mat. Hands are stacked under your shoulders. We're going to bend our arms and go back into our headstand. We want our head just a little away from the wall so that when we bring our legs up, we've got room for our butt, essentially. So hands stacked under your shoulders, bending the head, starting to shift the weight. Bring the knees in nice and close, and we're kicking up onto the wall. So I hope that made sense. And I think with inversions, usually it's fear that kind of gets in the way. So by having the wall there, we give ourselves a chance to be more okay with it. So I'm going to be here with my sister, helping her get up. It's not as easy as it looks. That's taken a lot of practice. The important thing is if you don't feel comfortable, keep your knees nice. Keep your knees just in your elbows and just stay there. But I promise as you kick up, it will get lighter. And then if you want, you can start to take your feet off the wall. Okay. And so I'm going to give you a few moments to do that. We're going to be practicing. And so you just move at your own pace with what you're comfortable with. Okay, ready? So get into your wide-legged forward fold. Beautiful. Hands come down. I'd move a little closer. Yep, hands come down a little further back. So you've got room to make that triangle, right? But then imagine that your butt has to come back. So your head is going to plant about here. And so you start to shift the weight forward. Sorry, stand up again. Bring your legs out a little further so that you've got more room, like it's easier to bend in. Beautiful. Is that comfy? Yep. Okay, so bring the knees in. Beautiful. That's it. So squeeze those elbows close together. Engage the core, lift. Keep those feet flat like you're standing on a wall. Engage and lift the legs up like Tadasana and bring them down when you're ready. And so, sorry, you might find You might find, yeah, and sorry, another thing, when you get down, keep your head down. We don't want a lot of blood rushing to the head. I mean, away from the head. So how did that feel? Is that uncomfortable? Yeah, it is different. That's the thing. If you haven't been upside down before, it's scary. It's really scary. But the benefits that you get are amazing, and it gets lighter every time. So it's just learning how to place your body in space and time and how to move the weight from, it's a lot in your mind's eye, okay? So imagining the weight lifting from your legs, just as you're in Tadasana, your thigh bones are lifting, your feet are engaged, as if someone's pulling your legs up to the sky. And so we can try again. If you want, move a little closer to the wall so you don't have to fall so far back, and you can feel a bit more of that alignment. So bend those arms going into that. Yeah. You bring the knees in and kick up. Nice. Okay. And you can play with just taking one leg off the wall and see how that feels. Engage it, lift it up, 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 up. Yes, engage the core. And it will feel strangely light, is what our teachers will tell us. You tell me when you're ready. Nice. And this is just the start of your inversion journey, my friends. It's one of my favorites. If this is okay for you and you'd like to try a different version, you can. If you give me a moment just to show. One more option you can take is in our dolphin. So your fingertips will come all the way to the wall. You'll set up your arms like we do in dolphin so they can't roll further out, but they are parallel to one another. We're going to lift our hips, keep our head in line with our arms. And as you walk forward, your head will move forward just a little. That's okay. Plant your head on the ground and kicking up. And this is our headstand, not tripod. So it is a little more difficult. But yeah, I mean, eventually you'll get there. But the tripod's a good one. But you can keep practicing and playing on the wall. That's the fun thing about a wall. It will be there to support you. The only thing I would say about practicing on a wall is sometimes you rely on it a little too much and you don't learn what it is to let your core lift you up. So practice with it. But then, you know, when you're ready, just start going into your push-ups, and eventually your knees will come in and you can just hold yourself. You don't have to kick all the way up. Do you want to try again? We've got a bit more time. No. Okay. Well, I can show you guys for a second. So if you do want to if you don't want to be going all the way up. Okay, well, that's right. So you just bring your knees into your elbows and you rest there. And then you can start to play with some shapes, which is always fun. And let's go back down. And when you're ready, we will start our cool down. So find your, I don't know why, my screen's switching to you, Bernie, and you look great. We'll start to find our cool down in a moment. You're going to be on my YouTube video now, just so you know. Alrighty. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. Inversions are one of my favorite, and that is the last family of asana that we're looking at. Sunday's class is not about inversion. Inhale, bring your legs out wide, finding a comfortable cross-legged position. Bring that index finger and thumb together again, palms facing down, close the eyes over. Deep inhale. Big exhale out. Option to open the mouth. Take a moment to turn your attention inward again. The tendency when we get into our inversions to get quite excited. So can we quiet down again? Beautiful. We're going to go into a half-legged forward fold. So bring your foot into your inner thigh, toes coming towards your face. Engage that thigh. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, begin to fold forward, keeping that flat back so you meet yourself where you're at. Close the eyes over. And so in our inversions, the ego tends to rear its face a lot, telling us you can't do that. You're not good enough, or whatever it is that the dialogue in your head says. That's just something to notice and to remember that you are not your thoughts and that all things come in time. All things. Inhale, lifting up, and we'll swap sides. Inhale, arms rise up, forward fold when you're ready. Another little tip, trick that I think I've told before, but just in case, as you engage the opposite muscle, so in this case, the thigh or quad, your hamstring will open up just a little more. Just as if we bring our navel to spine, we'll find ourselves being able to fold just a little more. Strange that, the body. Exhale, releasing the foot, bringing both feet together, going into Bandha Konasana. Just have a quick measure, making sure the heel to groin length is about a forearm's length. Find those sitting bones. So just rock a little back and forth to find those sitting bones. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, folding forward. We use the arms to come up as a way to remind ourselves to keep that flat back. And so as you fold forward, you don't, continue to roll. We keep that same straight spine. Check in with your breath. Exhale, lifting back up. We'll bring the legs back out. We're going to go into a seated twist. So bring that right leg over our left. We'll bring our tricep, to the outer edge. Fingers pointing up, and your hand comes all the way behind you, working to open that chest space, right? So right now I'm a little rolled. Roll that back shoulder open. Really open up your heart space. Inhale, lift your chest a little higher. And exhale, perhaps deepen the twist. And you'll find a twist in your upper back, yes, but it really is at that core that we find a deeper movement. And exhale, we slowly unravel, and I'd like you to fold over to the other side. Whatever that really looks like to you, we're just releasing the spine. And exhale, press back up, extend the left leg, right leg over the top, bringing the forearm to the thigh and right hand behind us. Roll that back shoulder open, opening up the chest. And so yoga, while yes, it can be physically demanding, and gets our muscles moving. It's really more about mobility. This is proactive steps to continue to live a mobile life. Exhale, slow unravel and folding over to the other side. Inhale, pressing back up, moving onto our back and into happy baby. So all the way down, feet come about shoulder width distance apart, knees going into your armpits. And as we press our feet up, we're also pulling it down, working to try and keep the lower spine, your sacrum, on the ground. So if you need to, you start to shift the tailbone down a little to feel your back placed on the ground. An option to rock side to side, just to massage the muscles in the lower back, but nice and slow. Exhale, just bring those feet together for a moment in a nice lifted bound ankle pose. Exhale, we're going to release the legs all the way down. We start to move into Shavasana, option to get a blanket or something to cover your eyes if you'd like. Feet open up, just let your feet go. Palms come down either side of you, facing up. I like to roll my shoulder blades under my chest just to give a little extra space for my breath. Inhaling all the way deep into your belly. Feel your belly lift. And exhale, release. If you have any lower back issues, feel free to place a blanket under your knees, or under your thighs, sorry. And we begin to inhale and shift our attention back to ourself, to that little spot of inner peace that's always there for us. And we exhale, sinking a little deeper, surrendering our muscles, knowing that we're held, that we're safe. And that our ego and our thoughts are not who we are. Shavasana, corpse pose. Shavasana. slowly begin to deepen our breath. Shift our attention back into our body, back into the room that we're in. Before we move, just take a moment to recognize that this is an act of self-love, that you deserve to take an hour from your day just for you, just to be and get to know yourself again. We begin to wriggle our fingers or our toes, small movements back into our body. We make our way to a pillow with our arm rolling to the side, lying down. And keep your eyes closed for the moment. And find your breath. Something you can use to come back to when the mind starts to go off on its own, as it's designed to do. Inhale, begin to rise up, keeping those eyes closed still, finding a comfortable seat. And come to heart center. Take a big inhale for me and exhale with an open mouth. Take a moment to revisit your intention that you set at the beginning of class. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today and with each other. Namaste.